Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Live Lunch. This is intended as a forum to share positive information, useful information, find out a bit more about the community in depth maybe, and keep us all connected during this time. So my guest today is Beth Mander, who founded and runs the Paxton Centre on Annerley Hill. So Beth, thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to have you. Tell us a bit about your background.
Oh, thank you for asking me, Eleanor. So my background, I have been working 10 years really towards what I have now. It was an idea I had 10 years ago, but there was loads of steps to get there, but I got there. I'm very visionary like that. I'm always 10 years ahead in my life of what I want to do. At the time, I did spend a number of years at home because I had issues within my family. I had things to deal with. I have two sons, both with additional needs. One has a chromosome disorder, which is like Down syndrome. And my other son has some severe mental health condition. So looking after them, as you can imagine, that took up time. And in addition to that, I did suffer two life-changing events as well. And so while I was looking after my children, dealing with events, coming to terms with things, I continued to go to college because I always had my vision and nothing was going to stop my vision from happening. It didn't matter how long it took. So that's what I did. I went to college. I was doing pottery, sitting guilds course all the way through these difficulties. And that's what's kept me grounded. And I speak to people now and I talk to people now, and I'm here and I'm not affected by what I went through or what was dealt me. I'm here, I'm productive, and my message is about creativity, about being creative in your life. That is what gets you through these difficult times, definitely.
That's awesome. That's very inspirational. So you did it. You achieved your vision with the Paxton Centre. So tell us a bit about that. How did you get there?
Okay. So actually, I realised today it's exactly 7 years to the day today that I came to Crystal Palace, which
Amazing.
is quite timely with this little interview. I hired a studio, which I still have, on the Triangle, Gypsy Hill Workshops. We're cooperative. Again, that was quite an instinctive thing. One day a voice said to me, go to Crystal Palace and look for a studio, because I couldn't maintain the business that I wanted at home. I had to have somewhere to go every day. And I literally got in my car, travelled to Crystal Palace, asked around and knocked on the door of Gypsy Hill Studios. And there was a space available, which happened to be a pottery space, and it happened to be available in 3 weeks' time, which was long enough for me to be organised, but short enough for me not to back out.
It's fate, basically.
Yeah,
amazing.
Exactly. My plan on coming to Crystal Palace was to have a bespoke pottery business where I made tiles for bathrooms and kitchens. My journey took a different path, and I met Joe and Karen and Laura from Crystal Palace Transition Town in the market, and I ended up taking over the running of the Handmade Palace stall in the market, which was a stall that sold artwork and crafts on a Saturday, all by local people. And I grew that, had more markets, big Christmas markets, monthly markets. Yeah, so I kind of grew that, and that's what I brought to the Paxton Centre.
That's amazing. I'm just going to sideline briefly and say hello to Dennis, Nick, Helen, Tanya, Letitia, Marina, Angelo, Shane, Sue, and also I think Andy and Chris have all joined us on various social media platforms. So welcome to you guys and anybody else who's watching. If you have any questions for Beth, please do drop them in whatever social media platform you're watching on, and we will try and answer them as we go along. And Beth, I have a message for you from Sue Stevens, who says, well done, Beth, you're amazing. So there you
Thank
go.
you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your ethos and kind of aims with the Paxton Centre?
Yeah. So it's very much evolved. I came in and it's a place for me to run my pottery classes and also to sell local art and craft. I worked in catering the time that I was at home bringing up my children. So having a cafe and bar here, I've done all that before, so that wasn't a problem. It's now become very much a community hub. There's a lot of community groups that use the space, which is brilliant. And because of that, I find that I'm a very good connector. So I can connect people and groups just from what I hear going on in here. My ethos that I kind of take from Crystal Palace Transition Town as well, which I do work under, there's 3 areas really. One is promoting the local economy, building friendships, and skill sharing. So those are the 3 ethos ideas really that I run the centre under. But it, like I say, it's very much evolved, and in the beginning and even now, that expression, if you built it, they will come, that very much felt the truth, because I did have people just come and want to be part of it, which was brilliant.
And you have a lot of different things. So if we talk about kind of under normal circumstances, how you operate, you do have a lot of different things going on, don't you? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I have the art gallery. I did have a craft shop. I don't do that so much now. That's more my handmade palace markets that I do outside here. We have a hot desking space. So throughout the week, freelancers come and work. We have a brilliant monthly jelly, freelancers jelly, that's run by Kate McGee, who's amazing, as well as other groups. We do workshops, we do courses. So I teach pottery here, which is very, very popular, but there's other tutors that come in and teach a wide range of crafts, which is brilliant. It's also an event space, so we have a lot of events. Obviously they got cancelled, we're not doing those at the moment, but I do have a trio that come over from New York every July, who I love, but they obviously didn't come, but they're booked for next July, so that's brilliant. All good. Yeah, we do open mic, we do live music, and I do a lot of private hire. There's always things I forget when everyone asks me what I do here. There's always things I forget.
Well, I mean, there's so much going on. It's easy to not remember everything, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that you did mention when we talked the other day, actually, that caught my attention was there was a British Sign Language group who meets, I think, as well.
Yeah. So they've been 3 or 4 times. They do a monthly social on a Sunday, and that's up to 40 people.
Wow.
That's really good. And the Menopause Cafe had just run one here. That was very successful. And then, of course, the lockdown came, but I'm sure that will come back. I've mentioned the freelancers group. Also, a lot of the groups, local groups around here, all the stakeholder groups, they also have meetings and forums here as well.
Okay.
So it's very, very community minded, which I love.
It's fab. And I think if I'm right, you mentioned the hot desking. I seem to remember it was really good value. It's £5 for 4 hours, and that includes. Go on.
That's right. Yeah, £5 for up to 4 hours, and that includes a drink. That can be anything, hot or cold drink. And that is what I want to reopen with, is the hot deskers. I've rearranged the space so that I can invite hot deskers to come back safely.
Amazing. Tell us about your reopening plans, because actually really that's why we decided to do this interview now, because you have a reopening plan. So tell us about it.
Yeah, I've been closed, for a very long time now, it seems. I'm going to reopen on the 15th of June with 3 different areas. So I've moved all the tables around upstairs on the mezzanine and down here, so I can welcome up to 10 freelancers on socially distanced tables.
Amazing.
I've got a little setup by the front door so that I can sell refreshments. I've got in touch with a few other new local breweries so I can start stocking some other stuff that I wasn't before. And I've got a little corner of the centre and I've made that back into a shop, and that's quite a separate area. So anybody coming to the door, they'd either be a freelancer that would come into the centre, take a space, or somebody could go in the shop. That could be one person at a time or a couple, and there'll be markings for queuing outside. So that's how I've set the centre up, and I've made a little film this morning of how it looks. It is work in progress, but I'll post that onto my social media pages.
Well, you've got a couple of weeks still to go, so that's amazing that you're kind of there already. That's great. That's really good.
There's a lot to do, a lot to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, there's a bit of, sorry to interrupt, I was going to say, I'm looking to get my windows restored as well. So they're Victorian original windows, but they're sound, and yeah, they can be restored, so there'll be a lot more ventilation in here.
Okay, that's great. And you mentioned about the markings outside for social distancing. Did you decide what you were going to do with those? Because you had quite an interesting idea.
I did. I am still trying to get hold of Manu, who is such a lovely, generous person, and he's gone round and he's done markings for all the shops. Very, very generous. But me being me, I wanted something a little bit different. So I'm hoping, I did have a quick conversation, I'm hoping Manu can make me some Joseph Paxton face stencils that I can put outside just for fun.
That's awesome.
Just a bit light-hearted,
yeah, brilliant. And you just touched on this, I think, but you mentioned the other day you do have a license for alcohol, don't you? And you are going to be sort of selling takeaway, I think.
Yes. I have to say, Bromley licensing and Bromley Police have been very good throughout the lockdown, keeping us informed. We've had regular emails from them. I was quite impressed at that.
Yeah, that's good to know.
It's good to know they'll be on my side.
Yeah, and helping you
with their help. Yeah. It is quite a daunting thing to completely change how you're operating. And absolutely. I know there's quite a few businesses have done that at Crystal Palace, and some did it really quickly, which was so impressive.
And so actually, let's just go back and talk about this a little bit, because you were very ahead of the curve in deciding to close. And I know you had really, really good and kind of strong reasons for doing that. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I ended up closing on Sunday afternoon, Sunday the 15th, that would have been 14th, 15th of March. I didn't open from then. Once it became obvious that, this virus was out there and the severity of it, I was obviously worried as well as everybody else. And at the centre, I have a lot of people coming through here, a lot of people coming from the station. A lot of workshops were going on at the time, and I felt that I couldn't manage everyone's health and safety without the knowledge that we all now have now. We didn't at the beginning. We didn't know what we were really up against, how you deal with that, and the whole situation was really scary. Obviously, I've got my own family as well. And also my events and bookings, they had started to be postponed. So I thought that was the best thing to do. But it was health and safety really at the end of the day, and I'm quite big on that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've taken the time to really think about how to reopen safely and how to make best use of the space and things. So that's amazing. Yeah.
I've quite appreciated the break as well, because I was very tired and I was very burnt out. I've been running the centre, it was 3.5 years. And actually it's 4 years this August.
Yeah, amazing.
In here, yeah. And when I think back to what I did, I do not know how I did that. Because I'm here on my own, I run it on my own, and I was finding that a little bit tricky anyway, but I don't know how I did that on my own.
Yeah. Just come back to that in 1 second. I'm just going to say hello to Samantha and Eileen, who I can see have joined us. So if you guys or anybody else who's watching, if you have any questions for Beth, please do put them in the comments of whatever social media platform you're watching on, and we will answer them as we go. So Beth, just going back to what you were saying, do you think that the sort of having the couple of months of lockdown and maybe time for, I don't suppose you've been having a break from what you said, but at least kind of time to maybe reassess and obviously reopening in a different way, do you think that that is going to maybe change how you do things in the future, or sort of inform a new way of balancing everything?
Yeah, yes and no. I'd like to go back to what I was before. And when I first closed my doors, I was quite upset for a couple of weeks, thinking that I wouldn't be able to get back to have back what I had, but I'm sure I will. I've got a couple of new artists coming in, ready for opening anyway. But I was, like I was saying, I was doing everything. I don't want to go back to doing that. I want to concentrate on the things that I enjoy and that I'm good at. So that would be something like I want to collaborate more with other businesses, so that would come in here and use this as a base. And one more most immediate would be like a catering company, someone that's got their own catering company, and they would like to come in, they'd use this as a base, and there'd be our food offering, if you like.
Yeah, fantastic. It's going to be very exciting. Maybe open up some possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. I'm up for collaborating. That's what I'm all about anyway. So that seems like the natural way to go forward. I'm looking forward to getting back to my classes as well. So last night I've created some events for how my pottery class is going to look going forward. I did have a lot of people signed up. I was halfway through one course, and another one should have started at the end of April. So what I'm doing with my course is that's going to be part online, part on site. So for the first 4 weeks, people will receive a workshop via Zoom with me, and they'll come and pick up what I call a pottery pack. So they'll come and pick up some clay, and I'm really excited about that. For me, it's finding new ways to work with pottery, and what I do, I can encourage everyone to look around their house, and they'll find a million resources and that they can use tools in pottery. And I know people would make amazing things. And then the last 2 weeks of that, by which time we're into August, they will come to the centre to do their 2 weeks of glazing their pieces.
That's really cool. It's like it sounds like it's actually encouraged you to be even more creative with how you're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that. And that's going to be Monday the 22nd of June. So I've scheduled to start back then. Carlos, who's been with me at the centre teaching Adult Art Club from the very beginning, he's looking forward to coming back, and we can do some social distance art club. So I'm talking to all the tutors again, and we're all looking forward to getting back.
Fantastic.
Be that online to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. You've done such an amazing job of kind of working out how to do everything and kind of reopen and get stuff started again. It's amazing. So I think we should do just a quick recap for anybody who joined in the middle. So tell us just remind us when you're reopening and how it's going to look.
Okay, so I'm reopening from Monday the 17th of June. I have a little setup at the front door, so people will queue and then come in one at a time, and I've got 3 areas, so I can serve drinks and locally sourced food. From the front door, I've got one entrance where freelancers will come in if they're going to be booking to use the table and work here for the day. And then the other side of the entrance, that's when customers will go into the shop and look at all the lovely locally created art and crafts.
Amazing. Do the freelancers need to book in advance?
I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Okay.
And weeks to finalise.
Yeah. And the best way, I guess, to find out about all of this and keep updated on it is going to be via the website.
Yes.
So yeah, that it should be by the video for anybody who wants to keep updated on what's going on. But amazing things happening at the Paxton Centre in the next couple of weeks. So do keep an eye on it. And as you said, Beth's very, very keen to collaborate and maybe get some people in particularly to run a cafe, I think, among other things.
That's my more immediate idea, really.
Mm-hmm. So,
sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, I've got other ideas as well for events outside here that I want to start thinking about in the autumn. And yeah.
Amazing. So basically, if you're interested in collaborating with the Paxton Centre, do get in touch with Beth and have a chat. So that sounds awesome. Brilliant. Thank you, Beth, so much for coming to tell us about your reopening plans. I'm very excited about that.
Thank you for inviting me.
That's a pleasure.
This live lunch has been really good. I'm very impressed with yourself and Galina. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I have to say I'm actually loving doing it because it's brought me into much closer connection with the community. So all sorts of people like you that I've had a brief chat with in the Paxton Centre before, but sort of not really got to know. So I feel like I've really strengthened my community links, and it's helped me enormously through lockdown to feel like I'm not on my own. So actually thank you very much, but it's been helping me as well, so that's very kind of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will certainly be down to check out what you're doing in person once you're open, so I look forward to seeing you then.
Fantastic.
And so we've hello to Melvin, and Tim Davis says hello to everybody, so thank you. Just to finish off with then, I've got a couple of requests or announcements and things, and a little bit of an update on the live streaming programme. So Andy Scholes, if you're still watching, I saw this on the Friends of Gypsy Hill Facebook page in the last couple of days. The banner competition that was running for the last couple of months, winners have been chosen. I think there's 4 from what I saw. And if you want to have a look on their website or Facebook page, you can see the winning entries and some of the others, I think, as well. So go have a look at the Friends of Gypsy Hill, find out what banners we are going to have adorning the Gypsy Hill lamppost. They look awesome. So congratulations to the winners, and well done to everybody who took part. Then the next thing is a request from us at the Library Hub that we have a few available slots for live streaming. So if anybody's got something they would like to share through the Library Hub live streaming program, do get in touch with us. And we particularly would love some more people to read children's stories, but we are open to suggestions beyond that. So do give us a shout if you've got some ideas. Just a quick reminder, we do have a lot of stuff on the live streaming program. So as well as the live lunch, we have singing classes, although we are taking a break this week because we've been going straight through since February half term. So Crib Note singing breaks will be back next Monday and ongoing for the foreseeable future. However, we do have South London Home Choir tomorrow evening at 7, which sort of started as a collaboration between Palace A Cappella Choir, which is my choir and meets in the Library Hub, and our sister choir in Ladywell, Quaggy Community Choir, which is run by Jake Alexander, who also works with me in Crib Notes. So do join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock via the Library Hub page or the Palace A Cappella page, Facebook pages, that is, for some singing if you fancy it. We also do have children's stories. We have The Edible Garden with Tanya tomorrow. We have Cross Stitch with Alice. We have yoga and meditation every day. There's a huge amount going on. There's live music. So we have the Covers Cafe and things on Friday, and just huge amounts of stuff to keep you entertained and connected and so on. So please do have a look at what we've got. And I think that's all from me for today. Just to say, tomorrow we have Sue and Lou are coming to talk to us about Invisible Palace and the Vicar's Oak Path, which is the lovely area just outside the gates to the park opposite the Triangle, which if you wondered where that sprung up from and what it's all about, please do tune into the live lunch tomorrow to find out. That's it from me for today. Beth, thank you so much for coming to chat to us. It was really lovely to talk to you.
See you soon in person.
You will do. And very good luck with the last couple of weeks planning the reopening and stuff, but it sounds like you're well ahead. So
yeah,
look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Enjoy the sun. Bye for now.